We're going to be great. This is going to be an awesome episode. All right, let me get it going. Okay, guys, welcome back to Talking to the Medias. It's the weekend. We got your mail is what you are about to watch and take part of. Okay, buckle up, guys, because it's about to be a good one. Once again with me on a Saturday, it's Amy Newman. Hey, Amy, what is up?
Happy Saturday.
Feeling great today?
Got those Saturday vibes going.
As always. Well, guys, how do you send a mail in, or how do you get your comment or question read? It's easy. Well, just go to T3 Medias, at T3 Medias on all of our, or any of our social media accounts. At T3 Medias on Facebook, Instagram, all those things, the TikToks, as long as we still have that in play, and we can read your comment, questions, any concerns, any suggestions, put it in the box, put it in the suggestion box, and Chris needs to get a less shinier head, and then we'll read it right here on the show, because
we'll make you watch us cry.
Yeah, exactly. Your voice matters as long as it makes us cry. All right, so
we just want to feel anything at this point. It's been a long year.
That's funny. We got your mail because I just want to feel anything.
Am I the only one who's been doing that? Like, I feel like I'm still in quarantine. I'm in California. It's not safe here. And sometimes I watch a movie and I start crying, and then I realize it's just my body just needs to process and feel so much. It's just okay, here we go.
Amy, why are you crying? Because Wally is in love with that other robot.
Do you want to talk about that? Because one time I literally cried at the movie WALL-E, but I wasn't watching it. I just thought so hard about the movie WALL-E, I started crying. He wanted to hold her hand, Chris. He just wanted to hold her hand.
WALL-E. Oh, yeah. Okay, stop. Okay.
The movie's great.
Compose yourself, Chris. Compose yourself. What's the first one that comes in?
Not about WALL-E, so who cares? No, Juice Talkies said the Grudge films were horrible. Skip them. Ooh. I highly recommend the original Juon 1 and 2. Haven't seen Sadako versus Kayako, but I heard it was awful too, but may fit in more of a guilty pleasure type movie. You like The Grudge, right? That one scared you.
I like The Grudge. I like The Grudge. It scared me. I didn't like any of the other ones. I like The Ring. I didn't like any of the other Ring movies. I don't know if I saw the latest one. And then in 2016, I heard about that Japan was going to do a Grudge versus The Ring movie, which I was like, that's so stupid. It's gotta work. I couldn't wait. I was like, so that means an American version's got to come. But then what did we get? We got the Rings movie, which I'm like, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I did see it, and it was terrible. And then we got an American version reboot of The Grudge, which also was a flop, and I didn't even watch it. I was so mad that we did not get an American version of The Grudge versus The Ring. So I am...
Honestly, that being awful guilty pleasure-y kind of sounds like what I would want from that movie. Like a little cheesy.
You've got to watch it. You've got to watch it. I'll let you know where I saw it, and I'll send it to you. It's awesome. I mean, it's one of those. It's because it's just like I guess because it's coming from the source. It's the Japanese versions of these two characters, and the way they do horror over there is 10 times better, depending on the movie, than the way we do it here. We're copying their moves, and it got me. It got me. That movie, as bad as it was, it's bad. It's bad, but as bad as it was, it still brought me back to how I felt when I saw the original Ring and the American version, and the first Grudge movie, the American version, because it freaked me out, and it brought me right there. And you had both of those monsters in the same room at the same time, and I'm like, this is killing me. So after I finished watching it, I'm not gonna lie.
Are they fighting each other?
Oh. I'm not. I
just have questions. Like, do you root for one of them ultimately?
We'll talk about it after, because I don't know if I should spoil it for you, because it's such a quick watch. It's such it goes like that. I'm telling you, literally, after this show, you can just boot it up and just run through it real quick. Like, okay, it's the whole concept makes no sense. But when I was watching it, okay, here's my review. But when I was watching the movie and they explained how they were going to do the confrontation, I literally thought to myself, by Joe, I think that might work. I was like, this guy has a plan and I like it. I co-signed so fast because I was so against it when I heard about it. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. This is stupid. They're probably going to do a whole Batman versus Superman thing. It was like, I got to fight you and I got to fight you. Oh no, let's team up because the real threat is over there. I thought they were going to do something like that. But no, they did not do that. And the idea of how to pin them against each other was freaking brilliant. I just had to give it to them for that. So I was not disappointed at all. This is a guilty pleasure movie. You will love it. I don't care if you don't even like horror movies. You will learn to love them again. So I recommend it. Go check it out. And we'll talk about it a little bit more after the show. Anything else you want to contribute to it? Are you have I got you psyched enough?
I'm like I said, I'm jonesing to feel something. So let's go, baby.
All right. What's the next comment that we have on display?
Jonas Blane II, in response to sort of discussing the double standard between casting white actors in roles that should be played by people of color versus black actors in traditionally white roles, saying, of course it is. Notice the zero to minimal outrage when white actors play black or non-white characters. Christina Wolfe as Julia Pennyworth, Victor Webster, Zach McGowan as the Scorpion King, Ben Kingsley as Mandarin, Tilda Swinton as the Ancient One, Angelina Jolie as Fox. Then it's about acting or who's best for the role, and we have to defend the white actor. Now, when it's a black actor playing a traditionally white or non-black character, it's massive outrage. We shouldn't race bend. It's about the purity of the character, and don't defend the black or mixed actor from hateful and racist remarks. Like Candice Patton as Iris West Allen, Ruth Negga as Tulip O Hare, Idris Elba as Heimdall, Mechad Brooks as James Olsen, Halle Bailey as Ariel, now Javicia Nicole as Batwoman.
I see his point, but I do still hear those outrages on both sides when you they said when you have a white actor that plays a black or non-white
I do remember the Tilda Swinton backlash in Doctor Strange. Like I feel like that was a pretty big one and like kind of a debate of is it appropriate, is it inappropriate? You
hear it from those groups. I mean, that's where you would hear it first. Now, whether they were listened to, now that's what that's probably why some people are like feeling like there was hardly any voices raised. No, no matter whatever it is, if the source, like as innocent as you want to make it, even the Airbender movie, Avatar, The Last Airbender, I mean, everyone. Even people who were not Asian, white, black, just as fans of that cartoon, we all lifted our voices in outrage, like, why are they not Asian? and we all, I mean, just because we were just fans of the cartoon. But I understood what M. Night was going for. I just don't think it was executed right. But I agree. I mean, as time goes by, people are being heard and listened to more. So it's probably why it feels like the dial is dialed up a little bit more. The volume is dialed up a little bit more lately. But I mean, Johnny Depp as Tonto or whatever. I mean, that was really really stretching after all those movies where like the list that you gave. I mean, I think that was one of the back-breaking straws in my opinion. I don't know what any other examples besides the ones that were listed that you can remember as well. I think you already gave another example, right?
I think I was just discussing the Tilda Swinton.
Yeah, that's
that, like I said, that was one I do really remember that discussion coming into play
a lot for the ancient
well, I mean,
one.
you even want to talk about like, you know, I feel like there's been a debate for years now of like, oh, could Idris Elba be James Bond? it's just like, oh, he's not British enough, which like is obviously.
One of the writers, what was it that happened a couple of years ago when one of those writers of the Bond movies was like he's too said that he's too street or something. I forgot the way he put it.
Very coded racial.
Oh, he straight up said it, and then the backlash that came from his fans were like, they kept showing pictures of Idris Elba with the scarf around his neck and like smiling, like really, this guy is too urban for James Bond. It's like he's all like. All happy and this stuff is like really, and then if I remember correctly, that guy had to like withdraw his comment or maybe apologize or something like that. But people, I remember, I read an article that for some reason he is closer than ever has been before for consideration. So I wouldn't.
He would just be such a good James Bond.
I feel like get him before while the getting's good.
Yeah.
I mean,
when it just comes down to is like not to act like I'm an expert on this topic or even the main voice people need to, but it's like James Bond is not a character that has anything to do with race.
Right. It's just like Superman. Like he's not technically a Caucasian male. He's an alien. Yeah. His race has nothing to really do. Well, okay. Maybe not. Here's one thing. This is an example that I think a black comedian kind of brought this up. You see all the places that James Bond goes and whatnot, and he's where he's fighting crime. He kind of disappears in the crowd. The joke was like if he's in England, he's disappearing in the crowd and whatnot. They see this one black guy in the like what does James Bond look like again? And they see the one black guy in the party like, hey, I think we found him. I think you gotta be. Maybe that's and then on the reverse, even as a white guy, you I think like the last James Bond movie where I don't know why I almost said Henry Cavill, but that's not his name. We were just talking about Daniel Craig. What country did he go to? Was it Trinidad or something? He's the only white guy in the whole crowd in the whole country investigating, and they're like, yeah, I think we see him. Because it happens in both situations. So it all depends. It all depends on the story. I'm not saying that James Bond, as a black James Bond, is only going to be fighting crime in all urban areas in like the hoods of England or something. Now,
there's just like nothing to do with that character that's about race. Like I get wanting to keep it a British guy. Idris Elba's British. Yeah. But like we had a Scottish guy. Like get over yourself. Yeah,
that's the rule. He can never be an American. That's the only rule.
And I get that. Like it's about him being British. It's not about him being white.
Right. So make him British. I honestly feel like this Daniel Craig version of James Bond would have been a good fit for him. If there was any time to do it, but I know Idris wasn't hot at that very moment when Daniel was being considered. But if there was any version that I could see, it would have been this one, the current one. He would have fit perfectly. And if they're going to continue with that writing style or enhance it or something for him, Henry Cavill is going to get it eventually. He is going to be James Bond. That's really what they're really struggling with. They want Henry Cavill. He will do it. He's at a perfect age. He can wait till the next lineup. But Idris Elba's a little bit older than Henry Cavill, so I say get him while he's still in his prime years. So let it be. I feel like let it be Idris Elba now, because it's gonna be Henry Cavill eventually. So wait until
then we can have this debate all over again.
Yeah, exactly.
And we'll have more people complaining about
Superman. No. That's what they're gonna say, right? Whatever it is. Like, I miss Idris Elba. He was the best. That's literally what's going to happen. Watch. Once we get it and it's finally over and done with, it's going to be like, he was the best James Bond we ever had. Like, watch. It's going to happen. We'll see. I guess let us know what you guys think about that. And we'll talk about it a little bit more.
And the original question, which I feel like
Did I miss the point at all?
We took a small detour.
It was, we sure did. No, white people playing black characters. Come on. That's what it's all about, right? We covered it. We just focused more on Idris Elba.
I feel like we did that thing where you like write an essay and you just sort of like gear it towards like, here's the part of the book I actually read. So I'm just gonna find a way to like, and also it's kind of like
Taming, what is it? The grapes of wrath, man. Oh, some great grapes in here, man. And when that wrath at the end, it was a big one.
Sort of reminds me of how in James Bond.
Now, when it's a black actor playing a non-traditional white, it's more of an outrage. Well, I feel like now that lately, it's just more. The volume has increased a little bit because of what's going on lately. That's all. But people will get over it. If the movie makes $1 billion, people will really get over it, no matter what the situation is. All right. What's the last question we have for the day?
We got Pimp Trick Gangsta Clique discussing the movie Palm Springs.
Of course.
Saying, one thing the movie never explains is how Niles originally got in the loop. The most obvious guess is he attended the wedding for the first time, somehow ended up at the cave and entered. So the no-loop-nyles that Roy meets at the end is the Niles from the original November 9th and is destined to enter the cave that night unless intervened by Roy or Nana. It is possible Roy does stop no-loop-nyles at the cave since he appears to be going there to exit.
True. When I read that question, Pimp Trick Gangsta Clique, it freaked me out because I'm like, you're right. Niles is still always destined to go back in there. He still gets out, but then there's two things. I mean, he mentioned that there's a multiverse. There has to be a multiverse, so that's probably what's going to happen. So part of him is still in there, but he'll still eventually get out. So that's the past. You've traveled back into. It's like Back to the Future. He's destined to go through his adventure, but he's still destined to get out.
This is why you don't actually put quantum physics in your like time loop movie, because no one has this debate about Groundhog's Day because it's not actual science. It's just like he was happening. Nice and he loves Andy McDowell now and he gets out. Which was like part of my issue with the movie of like that
movie is super religious. God was messing with him. That's it. That's acceptable.
But God is the groundhog, so
right. I believe that.
Connie Phil did it.
I believe that. I think that was.
But when you are making it like this is science, this is like it does start making you go like, wait, but like we're all like sitting here trying to figure out quantum physics, like. But then in this universe, like,
yeah, but
doesn't
this
matter.
version
That
of him, and
it was just Andy Samberg being a goof, like.
So I mean. Technically, yeah. I mean, he's already gotten out. Even if that's the same Andy, if it's all linked, if there's no multiverse and all that stuff, he still technically gets out eventually. We saw that, so it doesn't matter if that version is still going to go through the adventure or not. We know he gets. And the whole thing about we didn't see how he got in. That was one of the things I loved about the movie. They didn't have to explain. He quickly explained it. I went in there. That was it.
But I think I said that too, was part of what was fun of like having him already be in the middle of doing this. Because again, it's like we've seen the Groundhog's Day set up so many times. Yeah. And I'm frankly a little sick of watching a character do the, hold on, I did this already. What's going on? And then the second day. And it's like, I've seen it happen. I've seen Groundhog's Day. Like it's been done to death. So just having it come in the middle of like, he went in the cave at some point.
It makes sense because we knew we were going to see that when she went in. So I'm sure maybe it was filmed and they thought this is overkill. We're having him do it and then we're gonna have her do it again later. Yeah. So
no, I didn't need to know why he went in the cave. He went in the cave.
Yeah, he went in the cave.
And I can fill in this.
It was to me. It was funnier that he was already. That's why he knew this was happening. I was like, this loop is already happening. So it's kind of that was a neat way to start the movie. It worked. And it spared us from having to see his reaction to it happening for the first time because I'm pretty sure he reacted the same way she reacted. What the H is going on?
Yeah.
So and we've seen that like you said, we've seen it to death. So it wasn't necessary.
The word hell?
Oh yeah, always. HE double hockey sticks. No, you don't do that. I mean. Definitely
heard you say fuck before.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's what I do, but but I don't know. I feel like that when I first read that question, it threw me for a loop for a second until it really hurt my brain because I felt bad. I was like, "Oh, he's going back in that loop," and I was like, "But wait, he gets out no matter."
Yeah, everybody's
no
always in the loop in some. Again, we're getting into things I like can't quite wrap my brain around, but
I mean, the simple answer is because. That's why. That's why. Because. Well, guys, that's the last one. Let us know what you guys think about any of these topics. If you want to share, you want to discuss it again, send your questions, comments, and concerns all to Amy because I'm tired of talking about it. But she has plenty more theories to share with you for the, what did I call it? My ending debunked. My GOAT theory. That's what I'm going to call them all from now on. The GOAT theories when I debunk a movie. The next one I think I'm going to debunk is The Ring versus The Grudge. Oh man, so many things that I got to talk about and debunk in that one. So expect another GOAT theory video coming soon on that one. Like I said, if you want to send a video, a video or a comment. If you want to send a video to us, that'd be kind of cool too. You can email us at mail@t3medias.com. But if you want to send a comment,
I've been a woman on the internet long enough. I'm not going to ask anyone for videos of anything.
Like, hey, no.
Well, nope.
Send your comments. Send your nice questions and comments to us at T3 Medias on our social medias, on all of every of our social media platforms at Facebook, Instagram, and etc. You can always mail us at mail@t3medias.com, and we might use your trending topic on the main show. So just make that happen, and we'll make it happen. So. I want to thank Amy again for joining me on this episode of We Got Your Mail. Amy, where can they find you on the internets? Not sending a video.
Yeah. I'm on Instagram at amy.n.newman, on Twitter at amy_n_Newman. And don't make it weird, guys.
Don't make it super weird. No, don't do it. Don't do it.
Make it like the fun amount of weird.
Send the weird stuff to me. You can send it at Chris Fagan 1980 on Instagram and especially on Twitter. Till next time, guys. We got your mail.
Take it to that position.
When I did that, was that too much? Did I violate? Stuff like that.
I don't think that's ever happened to me. I don't think any guy that I've been with has ever recapped. They'd be like, wow, that was amazing. But